Governor Jerry Brown gave workers across the state a big boost today with the signing of a new law to raise the minimum wage.
Workers marched and chanted through the streets of Los Angeles to call for better treatment in the workplace.
And students at Duke University are camping out and calling for change. We talked to students there about the climate on campus. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
This is an important day. It's not the end of the struggle, but it's a very important step forward.
People cheered today as Governor Jerry Brown signed the minimum wage bill. Supporters of the wage increase gathered in downtown LA to celebrate. Good evening, I'm Priscilla Casper.
And I'm Daniel Tran. Governor Jerry Brown made history when he signed a bill that will raise California's minimum wage to $15. Reporter Madison Paglia spoke to workers in downtown Los Angeles for their reaction.
Workers, labor leaders, and activists in downtown Los Angeles celebrated as Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill raising the statewide minimum wage to $15 an hour.
This is an important day. It's not the end of the struggle, but it's a very important step forward. Let's keep it going.
This bill makes California the first state in the nation to commit to a minimum wage of $15. It also requires government workers providing in-home health services to receive 3 additional paid sick days. Workers think this will be a positive change for their families.
My daughter is disabled and she has cerebral palsy, and this means a lot.
I have 2 daughters and 1 granddaughter, and that's the reason why I fight.
The first raise will be by 50 cents in January. After that, it will raise by $1 each year until it reaches $15.
If all goes as planned, the wage increase will continue until 2022. Although this is a win for workers, many small business owners say that this change will hit them the hardest.
It's going to affect all the small business, mom and pop business.
Business owners say that paying workers a higher wage will ultimately mean higher prices for customers.
To make that money, we have to increase the prices.
It's going to affect the business because people, they try to not come to the dry clean business.
But workers feel that they deserve better wages.
We're not asking for a whole lot, just a little bit to help us live a better life.
Businesses with less than 25 employees will get an additional year before being required to pay $15 an hour. For Annenberg Media, I'm Madison Paglia.
President Obama commended Brown and the California legislature on the bill. He also called out Congress, saying, quote, "Now it's time for Congress to step up and do what is right for every hardworking American and for our economy," end quote. Today, New York joined California. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed a bill to raise that state's minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2018. Cuomo also introduced presidential candidate Hillary Clinton at a campaign event in his home state. She praised union leaders who fought for the wage increase. She also discussed what it means for the United States.
What was accomplished here reflects our values and our priorities. It shows the world what kind of community we are and what we can get done when we work together.
Clinton supports a federal minimum wage of $12 an hour, but she encourages states to choose higher minimums.
The presidential candidates are gearing up for the primaries in Wisconsin tomorrow. A lot is at stake for candidates in both parties. The Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders spoke at a rally this morning in Jacksonville, Wisconsin, talking about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
My opponent is telling the American people, don't think so big. Can't happen. These Republicans, they don't want it to happen. Well,
Republican presidential candidate John Kasich spoke at a town hall event today in New York. Donald Trump spoke at 2 events in Wisconsin, and right now Trump and Ted Cruz are campaigning in Milwaukee.
He's 1 and 30. He ought to get the hell out.
I'm not getting out. Why would I get out? Particularly when Trump's worried I'm going to get his votes, which I've always knew that I could do, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to be fine.
It's one thing to yell and scream and curse, but I think the people of Wisconsin are saying, do you have an answer? Do you have an answer to the problems?
Now, on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton has 1,200 40, actually. Well, we're here on the Republican candidates. We see Donald Trump has 735 candidates, while Ted Cruz has 461 candidates, and John Kasich is still holding on with 143 delegates. Now, there are 930 Republican delegates still up for grabs, and on the Democratic side, 2,042 delegates are left. So the three biggest state primaries coming up are Wisconsin, New York, and California. Now, right here in Wisconsin, Republicans have a chance to get 42 delegates, while Democrats have a chance to get 96 delegates. Now, New York's primary is April 19th, and Republicans have a chance to get 95 delegates, while Democrats have a chance to get to 91. Now, on June 7th, California's primary is coming up, and Republicans have a chance to get 172 delegates, while Democrats have a chance to get 546.
If the polls are correct, Cruz is going to win on the Republican side and Sanders is likely to win on the Democratic side. I think it stretches out the race and makes it more likely that we still have a contest by the time they get to California in June. If Trump does not have the votes necessary on the first ballot to clinch the nomination, then there will be a very hotly contested convention. If it goes beyond the first ballot, then most of the delegates are freed and can vote for whoever they would like. And then I think it's quite possible that we would get a candidate emerge who wasn't even a candidate during the primary season at all.
Be sure to check in with Annenberg Media tomorrow for the latest on the Wisconsin primary results.
More and more protesters are camping out outside of the president's office at Duke University. Annenberg Media's Dan Lovey talked with Duke students about the changes they want to see.
For the fourth day in a row, protesters are camped outside the office of the president of Duke University. They are demanding the resignation of 3 university administrators, one of whom was accused of using a racial slur in August of 2014. 9 students have occupied the second floor of Duke's administration building since Friday. More protesters have gathered since then, some even camping on the quad outside.
People come back and forth, and people have been tenting out there, like sleeping out there.
Duke's president Richard Broadhead met with the protesters Sunday to try and come to a resolution. When the protests started, a university spokesman said the students would face criminal trespassing charges and academic sanctions. But students say Duke has eased up.
They're going to stop negotiations until the students actually come out of the building.
The protesters are calling for Duke's executive vice president, Talman Trask III, to resign. A Duke parking attendant accused him of using a racial slur almost 2 years ago.
I know before there have been smaller events to kind of bring to light what's going on with him.
Trask released a statement today saying, "While the details of what happened are a matter of disagreement and subject of civil litigation, I recognize that my conduct fell short of the civility and respectful conduct each member of this community owes to every other. I express my apology to Miss Underwood and to this community and recommit myself to ensuring that these values are upheld for all." The apology is a start, but not good enough for the protesters who remain inside and outside the building. For Annenberg Media, I'm Dan Lovey.
USC students gather in front of Tommy Trojan again today to protest the increased cost of attending the university. Students will be paying more than $51,000 just for tuition, and many are wondering why.
USC got $40 billion in donations last year. Someone gave USC $40 billion, and yet they're still raising tuition $3,000 more. People are literally on this campus skipping meals to make sure that they can afford to go on this school. That is insane and should be changed.
Throw in the cost of fees, books, and housing, students will be paying nearly $70,000 a year. That would make USC the most expensive college in the country. The undergraduate student government has requested a tuition freeze and more transparency about how the money is being spent. The university points out that nearly 2/3 of its undergraduates receive financial aid.
Several hundred grocery workers from the El Super chain marched this morning for a fair contract. Reporter Claudia Buccio spoke to workers and community leaders about their demands.
El Super workers from 7 different stores in Southern California marched from the South Los Angeles store to one in Huntington Park. Around 600 employees represented by the Union of Food and Commercial Workers have been waiting for their contract to be approved since 2013.
We want to show the company that we have not given up. We will continue to fight for our rights.
Employees from El Super, represented by the UFCW, are demanding a fair contract, which in their opinion should include higher wages, sick leave, and a more affordable health insurance.
A lot of the workers are Mexican and from Latin America, and it's not acceptable to have a company from Mexico that makes billions of dollars in profit to come and make profit in the United States and not treat their workers with respect.
And when the protesters reached Huntington Park, they were greeted by supportive officials.
Huntington Park needs good union-paying jobs, and it's our responsibility to hold them accountable.
In a comment, a representative from El Super told Annenberg Media that there had been no disruption to store operations and said most of the employees did not participate in the protest. The representative also said the company has an ongoing commitment to cooperative good faith negotiations with the union to reach a mutually beneficial outcome at our 7 unionized stores. Protesters hope their message reaches the parent company of El Super. Its shareholders met today in Mexico. For Annenberg Media, I'm Claudia Buccio.
2 major airlines announced a merger. Find out how that may change your travel plans.
Some USC students want to find out how much food is wasted on on-campus dining halls.
And we take you to a Los Angeles restaurant with Oaxacan flavors next.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Another airline merger has just been announced, and it's a big one for California travelers. Alaska Air will pay $2.6 billion for Virgin America. Our reporter Helen Flourish talked with an aviation expert and some frequent flyers about the deal.
Some say Alaska Air bought out Virgin America to gain better access to customers on the West Coast.
Alaska Airlines is a great airline. They're very powerful, but their base of operations is mainly in Oregon and Washington, and they want to get much bigger in California. They don't have a big presence here.
Alaska Air is paying $2.6 billion for Virgin America. It's an offer that aviation expert Brian Summer says was too good to pass up.
It's like if somebody offered you twice as much as your house was worth. Like, you have no choice but to sell. Alaska Airlines literally wanted to pay so much money for Virgin America that Virgin America had no choice but to say yes.
Virgin America flyers hope the merger won't change their customer experience.
They do fly nonstop more frequently, but the leg room, the comfortable seating.
I love the service. I love the atmosphere. It's definitely a different plane when you come into it and see the purple lights.
Customers may soon see higher fares.
If you have fewer airlines competing for your business, that probably means that eventually fares will go up. We don't know how it's going to work here, but there's going to be one fewer airline and less competition.
So will that be enough to drive Virgin America travelers away from Alaska Air?
If they stay within a 10% price difference of what they are now, I don't see myself making any major changes.
At this point in my life, I'm not at an extremely professional level where I'm stable enough to buy higher airfare, but in general, if I have the opportunity to, then yeah, I would.
The deal between the two airlines will officially close on January 1st, 2017. The airlines plan to merge completely by the first quarter of 2018. For Annenberg Media, I'm Helen Flourish.
Today, USC's Environmental Student Assembly and USC Hospitality kicked off Earth Month by showing diners exactly how much food they waste. Annenberg Media's Sonica Bargo is live with the story at EVK Dining Hall.
Thanks, Priscilla. I'm outside EVK, one of the dining halls where the Environmental Student Assembly and USC Hospitality are hosting Weigh Your Waste.
Today is an opportunity for us to work with the Environmental Student Assembly and to get some baseline measurements.
This is just so that students can see how much of their consumption style impacts how much trash that they produce.
Students are being asked to sort their leftover food into 3 garbage cans: animal waste like meat, non-animal waste like fruits and vegetables, and non-food waste like napkins. ESA members weigh the cans every hour. Since 7 o'clock this morning, diners at EVK have already created over 300 pounds of food waste. The final weight, calculated at the end of the day, will be posted on signs around the dining hall. Live from EVK, I'm Sonica Bargo.
Now, it was pretty warm today. Let's toss it over to Veronica, our weather anchor, to see what's going on. Veronica?
Thanks, Dan and Priscilla. Yeah, we have been lucky with the warm weather these last few days, but we might see some cold later this week. But first, let's take a look at the current conditions. Right now, we're at 71 degrees with 73% humidity. Now, let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast. We have 53 up in Big Bear and 75 down in Riverside, 74 up in San Bernardino. Moving up north, we have 70 up in the Simi Valley and 66 in Malibu down by the coast. Now taking a look at USC for tomorrow, we have 68 on campus tomorrow, 71 up in Pasadena, and 68 down in Long Beach. Now taking a look ahead at the 5-day forecast, we have 84 degrees for Tuesday, still pretty warm. We're going to go down to 71 degrees on Thursday and go a little bit higher to 72 degrees on Saturday. Now for this week's Venture with Veronica, we look at Guelaguetza. The restaurant serves food from Oaxaca, Mexico, and has been featured in the LA Times, the New York Times, GQ, Oprah Magazine, and many more. In the middle of Koreatown, you can find Guelaguetza, which food critic Jonathan Gold said is the best Oaxacan restaurant in the country. Fernando Lopez, an immigrant from the southern Mexican state, opened the restaurant in 1994. Now, his daughters and son run it.
Began selling food products door to door, and he opened a small little shop. He was a food vendor for some months, and then he opened up a very tiny restaurant on 8th Street in Normandy.
Their main dish and bestseller is mole. It's a thick sauce made with more than 20 ingredients and is served with everything from tortilla chips to chicken.
In Oaxaca, mole, it's a gourmet thing. It's like a celebratory dish. So we put a lot of effort and a lot of love into that one dish. So when we brought it to the public, everybody loved it.
The restaurant sells 6 different kinds of mole, plus other traditional Oaxacan dishes. Guelaguetza is located on the corner of Olympic and E-Roller Street, but if you can't make it to the restaurant, you can buy their signature mole online at ilovemole.com.
Well, that looks delicious. Thank you so much, Veronica. USC's graduating seniors aren't the only ones getting degrees next month. USC has announced 6 people who will receive honorary degrees at graduation. The recipients include this year's commencement speaker and founder of Oracle, Larry Ellison, 2-time Oscar winner Alejandro Iñárritu, and LA County District Attorney Jackie Lacey. Mark and Mary Stevens, who established the USC Stevens Center for Innovation, will also be recognized. The last honoree is Salim Zilka, a World War II veteran and the creator of the Zilka Neurogenetic Institute at the Keck School of Medicine.
Wow, this year is flying by, and it seems like basketball season was here, and the season is almost over. Where did it go?
Yeah, I can't believe I just watched Kobe Bryant's last game yesterday against the Celtics. Randall, tell me some good news.
Well, I don't know if I can take the pain away from you and Laker fans, but I do have some good news. Oh, and I do have some good news. I'll catch you up with the undefeated USC women's water polo team, and we're here with one of the top players from the USC women's golf team. ATVN Sports is next.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Well, it's opening day in Major League Baseball, which means the Los Angeles Dodgers and every other baseball team is back in action. In fact, the Dodgers are kicking off their season against the San Diego Padres. The game started at 4, and it is now 11-0 at the top of the 7th inning. Now, it's way too early to tell what the season holds, but the 2016 season is officially underway. We caught up with some baseball fans on campus who are glad the wait is finally over.
I'm very excited. I'm from San Diego, so looking forward to the Padres beating the Dodgers today.
I'm super excited. I've been a Dodgers fan since I can remember, so I'm excited to see them play the Padres today, and hopefully we can score a win.
I don't know, got a good pitching staff. It's an even year, so that's always a good sign. I'm just looking forward to making it out to a bunch of games over the summer, hopefully.
I'm most excited to see if the Angels pitching staff can, help out that offense and maybe we can get to the playoffs again.
It's been a long off season, so good to be back.
The Dodgers will look to get off to a good start under their new manager, Dave Roberts. It's too early to make any predictions about how any team will finish, but one thing is for sure, baseball is back. Speaking of action on the diamond, USC baseball is preparing for a showdown at home with Pepperdine. We caught up with Coach Dan Hubbs to find out what it will take to get another win at Dedeaux Field.
We face a lot of their hitters. We're going to have to pitch well. We're going to have to play good defense, and we're going to have to get timely hits. Pitch and play well, and we're going to have to not give them a lot of free bases. And if we do that, I think we're going to be just fine.
Okay. If the Trojans can get the victory tomorrow, it will give them 6 wins out of their last 7 home games. After that, they will have a 3-game homestand against Utah. The women's water polo team isn't having any trouble home or away. With 3 regular season matches left and another dominant win, these ladies are looking unstoppable.
I'm pumped. I wanna win, and we as a team are not gonna stop until we get there, and nothing's gonna stop us. And us being ranked #1 does not mean anything because we have NC2As, we have MPSF. #1 means nothing so far.
The women of Troy have beaten most of their opponents by double digits. It's not too far-fetched to think they are the heavy favorite to win the MPSF and the national championship. The #1 ranked women's golf team is doing pretty well thanks to some strong play from one of their youngest players, freshman Robin Ree.
Improve on my putting. That definitely is always one of my hardest things to improve on. So I definitely need to get that together, and hopefully my ball striking continues to work.
The women of Troy are a couple of weeks away from the Pac-12 championships, but if players like Reed keep stepping up, they have a chance to come home with the conference title. Now, my rising stars of the week are already some pretty familiar faces to sports fans. Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson made this year's Basketball Hall of Fame class. After Shaq made WrestleMania headlines, he went on to headline the Hall of Fame class with Allen Iverson. Those 2 guys are considered 2 of the best to ever touch the court. Now to Twitter reactions. Sean Farnham tweeted, "So last night Shaq was in the ring at WrestleMania, then announced today that he's going into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Great 2 days." And Stephen A. Smith said he would do everything he could to be in the house for those inductions. O'Neal and Iverson will join the Hall of Fame alongside NCAA champion coach Tom Izzo of Michigan State to round out the 10-person 2016 class for the Basketball Hall of Fame. Now, would you rather get chokeslammed by Shaq or dunked on by Shaq?
I will say I'd rather be dunked on by Shaq, mostly because just the force of that choke slam.
That one might hurt.
Literally just go through the ring.
Yeah, the dunk might just hurt your feelings more.
Jesus, but thank you so much, Randall. Journalists got a lot of love on Twitter today.
We'll tell you about this special day just for us.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's go, Pearly Whites, man.
Yeah. The boys, check it out. Stand up, do my terrorists, go compare us.
Ooh, cute. Are you good to try?
I'm fine. Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me. Yes, sir.
See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Grab your favorite journalism students and show them some love because today is National Hug a Newsperson Day. Viewers and reporters took to Twitter using the hashtag National Hug a Newsperson Day to share their feelings. Sports reporter Katie Nolan tweeted, "This National Hug a Newsperson Day, remember only a hug and only if you ask." Lamar Wilson tweeted, "Good thing I don't do news anymore. I don't want to get cooties." Fox reporter Abby Huntsman tweeted, "I'll take a free hug any day. Hashtag just saying." And Comedy Central tweeted, "Turn Lester Holt into Lester Hold. Hashtag National Hug of Newsperson Day."
Let me tell you, I could use a hug right now. Yeah, it's been a rough week so far.
It's Monday.
Okay, let's go in for it. Let's come in for it. That was nice.
Good stuff.
That was nice.
We do this every day.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Daniel Tran.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. You can watch us on